Let's talk NFL playoff scenarios. Week 18. The NFL algorithm, I did create it for everyone who needs it, and you're getting an email right after this video. But we'll talk about each game. Where does it say the algorithm picks teams that are going to win? And something that the algorithm is not including in these calculations, which is what status the team is in, whether or not they've been eliminated from the playoffs, whether or not they are already in and this game doesn't mean anything to them, or whether they're fighting for their season and potentially a playoff berth in this game. That information is logged in my brain after I watched some videos about all the scenarios. So let's get into it and let's talk about only winners is what I'm going to highlight. Money line winners. Who's going to win? Let's go to town. Dallas and Washington. Yeah, it thinks Dallas. Dallas can lock down the division with a win. They will have it over Philadelphia, apparently, if they just win, even if Philadelphia also wins. So this game is Dallas wins this game. I know it's minus 800, but when it comes to teams that need to win, Dallas is on there. Next game, Bengals are eliminated. Browns basically have their playoff. They're in the playoffs, and I think their position is locked in around fifth. They don't have much they can do, I think. So not a lot of meaning in this game at all. You don't know who's going to win in that situation, so you just stay away from it. It says the Bengals would win. They're favored, but yeah, there's not a lot of meaning here in this game, so anything can happen. Two teams that are eliminated, Raiders and Broncos, same problem. Have no idea who will win in a game like that because it doesn't really matter. Eagles are probably going to win because they can still get in if the Cowboys somehow lose to Washington, but they're not fighting with the same grit that they would normally. And the Giants are eliminated, but this game doesn't have a lot of meaning for the Eagles because they're probably also stuck in their playoff position. So stay away from that game as well. Just like the Eagles blew it to Arizona, similar problem here. They blew the division, I guess, to Arizona last week. Saints and Falcons. So this game is two teams on the outside looking in, and they need help, which is they need Tampa Bay to lose. Where's Tampa Bay? They need the Bucks. Why can I not see Tampa Bay? Oh, wow, they're all the way down here. Oh, geez. They need Tampa Bay to lose, which probably won't happen, even though it shows Carolina barely beating them in this kind of close game. But the win score is much more in favor of Tampa Bay. And you need to pay attention to win score at this point in the year because some of the points are going to get distorted with everybody's roster being included in here and injuries being live. And it's kind of like this is a guide, but you've got to look at a strong number here. And last week, it looks a lot better if you just look at win score. And win score is something that definitely matters. High win scores matter. And in this case, big, bad negatives. So we'll talk about this game at the end. This is the Sunday night game and is really going to be intense. But we'll talk about things that are going to happen before then. So Dallas, yes, winning. Can't make a decision, can't make a decision, can't make a decision. These two teams on the outside looking in, like I said, they have to win and Tampa Bay has to lose. They're still going to fight for this game because like there's no reason not to. If they lose, they're out, and if they win, they have a chance. So that means that it thinks New Orleans is a better team here by win score and by point projections. So it says New Orleans wins this game in a game that two teams are going to be fighting for. Next, Saturday game. This is Saturday, Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is in a really interesting situation because they have a chance to be in if they win and Buffalo loses the Sunday night game. So this is the one where Baltimore has no reason to try. They've locked up everything they need to lock up. And I don't think you should risk injury. Nobody thinks they should risk anything. And the Steelers are going to fight. And so even though it says Baltimore would crush this game, that's why they're an underdog line, because people are understanding this does not mean anything to Baltimore. And it makes sense that the Steelers would fight. Now, you never really know. It's tough to call, but there's not a lot of reasons for Baltimore to try to win this game on Saturday. So I'm going with the Steelers as well. Go with the team that needs to fight and against a team that doesn't need to win and really should rest. You should rest Lamar. Like, they know this. Like, let them be focused on winning the Super Bowl, not on winning this Week 18 game. So I'll put the Steelers up there. Even though you can see the algorithm disagrees with that if they were both fighting, all things being equal. Next, this game doesn't really mean much. Detroit kind of has things locked down where they are. And Minnesota can only get in through a comedy of errors of other things. So anything can happen here. I'm staying away from the game for that reason. Like Minnesota probably going to fight, but they also don't have a good quarterback situation. And I don't know, just there's too much weirdness there. It's I'm staying away from it. It says Detroit would win, but I'm staying away. Green Bay and Chicago. So this is Green Bay is in a win and in situation. And Chicago has been playing better. This is in Lambeau. They desperately want it. They can get into the playoffs somehow after a nice run over the last few weeks. They got young guys, but these young guys got effort. Algorithm says yes, and the win score is positive. So that's a yes. That's good being a home team too. Chiefs and Chargers don't think this matters, which is why the Chiefs are coming in at underdog line. So even though the Chargers have nobody lately, anything can happen here because they're probably just like in the Baltimore game, does not matter for the Chiefs, I don't think at all. So staying away from that. Seahawks can get in somehow, are gonna want to beat Arizona that's out. It's unlikely, but they have a chance. So they're gonna want to win this game. Win score is 19%, says they win by a field goal. They're gonna want it. So that's on there. Even though Arizona playing better with Kyler Murray, and this game's away, but they should be fighting for it. Arizona only out there to spoil. It's possible, but they're further down. You can see you're starting to lose some quality here, but they does say they win, and that line's okay. Rams and Niners. The Rams are somehow in, I believe, and have a playoff berth. Niners are definitely in. It's funny that it says the Rams would win. Anything's going to happen here because I think these are both locked up. So you stay away from this game. There's a potential the Rams win this game because it definitely doesn't mean anything for the Niners. They've already locked in, I believe, everything. So Jets and Patriots, two teams that are eliminated. Anything can happen here. Does not matter. Bills and Dolphins we'll talk about in a second. The Houston-Indianapolis game. This is another interesting one where this is a game very similar to the Saints-Falcons game in that both teams are on the outside looking in, need to win, and they also need somebody else to lose, like Jacksonville to lose, I believe, which is down here. Jacksonville is going to want to win this game, even without Trevor Lawrence. And you can see Tennessee Titans are at negative 35%. We'll get back to this game in a second. But Jacksonville's a winning in situation. Green Bay winning in situation. And Tampa Bay winning in situation. Also definitely going to want to win this game. Bad win score. So even though the points are really close, the win score is not close. So that's why it's saying Jacksonville, Tampa Bay down here. They're going to be at favored lines, obviously. Let's look at all the lines for a second. So we're saying Jacksonville, Tampa Bay here. And Pittsburgh down here, which is at a minus 186, because people understand that game doesn't mean anything for Baltimore. Well, we'll go back to the Houston-Indianapolis game. Both these teams are fighting for it. As you can see, the algorithm says this is extremely close, both by points and by win score. So it does not know actually who's going to win this game. And even though this team probably doesn't make the playoffs because Jacksonville probably wins, they're still going to fight it out, but it's too tough, too close to call. So this is what's on here to win. Dallas, New Orleans, Green Bay, Seattle, Tampa Bay, Jacksonville, and Pittsburgh. 3, 6, 7 teams to win. They are all favorites, as I can see there. Yep, they're all favorites, but they all have reasons to want to win the game. And they're favored by the algorithm, with the exception of the Steelers over the Ravens. And to be honest, it's a Saturday game. Like, it is kind of tough to call. You gotta bank on a team just not playing hard is what you're going for here. So it's different from the other ones in a lot of ways because your win scores are positive on all of the other ones. All of these other ones. So if you leave one team off there, it's Pittsburgh, and that's a Saturday game as well. So maybe you leave it off because you just want a Sunday ticket. And it's Dallas, New Orleans, Green Bay, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Jacksonville. All right. Good luck. Enjoy your NFL season. I've also laid this out to start to be able to enter in information about the playoff games. Right, you got the wild card round, you got the divisional round, conference. And I don't have any simulations for that yet. I'll wait till the results happen at the end of the week, but I'll get it in there and get it out as in an email. And I do still sell this. It's not on my website, but you can always contact me if you want a copy, and I'll sell you a copy of the NFL algorithm. All right, good luck. Enjoy your week 18, everyone, and enjoy your NFL, and happy 2024. We're already in the next year. So it's the 2024 playoffs.